Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout, or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction, and it helps support the channel. Thank you. I think my friendship is coming to an end because of my wedding. Hello all. This happened 2 years ago. I still can't seem to let it go. I'd really appreciate your honest opinion, especially in terms of weddings and friendships. I, 30F, have a close friend, 30F, who has been living abroad for some time. I live in Europe, and she lives in the Middle East. We've been friends for 10 years now. We had been friends for 8 years at the time of the wedding. When I announced that my wedding date in October, she immediately said that she wouldn't be able to attend because she didn't have any paid time off. Only one personal day. She works as a teacher and only gets summers off. She explained that due to flight schedules, she would need more than one day off to make the trip. I was really upset because it felt like she didn't even try to find an alternative ways to attend. I explained how much her present meant to me, and she then said that she had actually been looking for cheaper and more convenient flights. Eventually, she found some options and told me that the total cost of her flight and train ticket to the wedding city would be around $380. On top of that, she would need to use her personal day and take one unpaid leave day. She also said that she felt bad because with these costs, she wouldn't be able to afford to give me cash or gold, and offered to send me the same amount in cash instead of spending it on a flight and train tickets, to contribute to our wedding or home. Giving cash or gold is a common tradition in our culture. I declined and told her giving me money/gold wasn't necessary. I wanted her presence because I don't have many close friends. She bought the tickets. A few weeks later, seemingly out of nowhere, she said that offering her accommodation would have been a kind gesture. Considering that she was coming from abroad and struggling financially, again, offering a place to stay is also part of our cultural norms. We usually offer friends or guests to stay with us with family. However, she knows that I don't have many relatives or friends in that city, and I'm in a tight budget due to weddings. So, I felt really hurt by her comment, as if I'm not thoughtful or kind. I explained this to her, and she apologized twice, saying that she hadn't realized the phrase "would have been kind" would hurt me. Thankfully, she managed to arrange accommodations through a friend of hers and came to the wedding. She also joined my bachelorette night and even a girls' trip later on. We haven't talked about this again since, but it's something that still lingers in my mind. How can I bring this up without hurting her feelings? Because she apologized once, then she apologized again for causing me heart with the words "would have been kind." I let it go at the time because I was too busy with wedding planning and didn't want to ruin the friendship. Now my life is back to normal, and this comes up a lot in my mind, and now she should have been more careful with her words when I'm really stressed with wedding planning. So let me see if I got this straight. You guilt your friend into continuously apologizing because you made them feel bad that they didn't have the paid time off in order to come to your wedding and would essentially have to go without pay or any type of financial income in order to come to your wedding, which you've already been given a heads up that their availability is such, but you said, nah, I'm just not gonna pay attention to that. In all seriousness, your friend is out almost $400 to attend your wedding on their one personal day that they had available, and you're still trying to make them feel guilty about it. That just is ridiculous. I, 35M, may have overreacted after walking in on my wife, 36F, married for 8 years, bare in our Airbnb sauna with my brother-in-law, 33M, almost the same. TLDR, I walked in on my wife and brother-in-law while they were at that after being in the sauna that we had rented together at an Airbnb. My wife justified it by stating, "It's normal in her family to see each other like this." I had a pretty visceral reaction and want to know if I went too far. This was a couple of days ago now, but I'm feeling as though I pushed too far. The situation went like this. My 35M, wife 36F, and I rented an Airbnb for a vacation abroad with her family, her brother, 33M, and his wife, 32F. They just got married about a month ago. They are all from Eastern Europe, and still live there. My wife and I are living in the States and have been married now for 8 years. This is relevant because I want to know if what happened is considered more normal in countries like Poland, Czechoslovakia, I'm thinking, Romania, than it is in the US. My wife, brother-in-law, BIL, and I are all three hanging out in the dry sauna, talking and having a nice afternoon. The sauna came with the Airbnb, so it's nice and private. After a while, I get tired of the sauna and say that I'm going out to sit in the hot tub. My wife and brother-in-law say that they want to hang back and stay in the sauna. Now, I'll say my brother-in-law had no clothes on other than a towel, my wife her bathing suit, and I was also wearing a bathing suit. We were all covered. I left, sat in the tub for 20 minutes, then went back into the sauna to check on my wife and brother-in-law. When I walked in, my brother-in-law was standing at the shower door. Yes, there was a shower too. Shower door open, talking with the towel on. My wife's bathing suit was bundled up on the floor across the room, so I knew that she was like that, while my brother-in-law was staring straight at her. When I walked in, my brother-in-law sort of pushed back away from the door entrance and started acting slightly nervous/odd. I walked into the shower, and my wife was rinsing off bare. She asked me for her towel, but I was thrown off by her seeming to be cleaning her nethers. Anyway, I handed her the towel. Then, her and her brothers were quick to rush us out of the sauna as they had just gotten done cleaning up, and he was exhausted. It's important that I mentioned that I hadn't ever mentioned being done with the sauna, and in fact, I had planned on using it a bit longer. However, they proceeded to rush us out the door. The whole vibe changed, seemingly. Maybe it was just in my head because I saw my wife like that with someone else. Unsure. A few hours go by and I can't contain myself once me and my wife are in bed alone. I straight up tell her how odd the situation was. I told her it upset me to walk into this situation. She said it's normal for her and her family to be like this in front of one another, that they grew up that way. I said that's kind of odd in itself, but could be understood while they were kids with their parents living in a very small apartment, but that it's objectively strange to do it now as 30-somethings. I asked her why she was like this. Why not rinse off in the bathing suit? Why was the bathing suit on the floor on the opposite side of the room? She said that she didn't want to, but she didn't think that it was a big deal, and she told me that she threw it, her bathing suit, out of the shower. Then I called her out. I said, "No, you clearly stepped out of it." She admitted that she lied about throwing it. I then asked her why her brother was staring at her while talking in the shower. Again, she lied and said that she wasn't. I called her out again. I asked her if anything else happened while I was out. She said they cleaned up, he took a shower, then she got in after he finished. I asked her if anything weird happened. She said that's disgusting, and no. I said this whole situation disturbed me. The vibe made me feel like I needed to ask these gross questions. I hated asking, but I never would have gotten over this if I had not. I told her that I felt it was wrong to do this to me, regardless of the fact that he's her brother. I said that I have a hard time believing her that nothing else occurred, since she lied twice about her suit and where I saw her brother standing when I walked in. I told her that her and her brother gave me the same vibe that I had experienced after I got caught people post this. You can imagine this conversation went on for some time, but she never got overtly upset. I cried only once and very briefly, but for the most part, just acted apologetic and played the ignorance card. Look, dude, I'll tell you this right now, as somebody who has actually been to Europe before, they are very much more laxed on this kind of stuff than people are in the States. That's one thing I know for sure. So you trying to swing this one way that you very much think is going to be a messed up thing in your mind is not fun at all and just kind of ruins the vibe of the whole family trip and everything. And I can understand your wife's reactions not exactly being the most yippee, I'm hooray, I'm happy that my husband is accusing me of this very taboo thing. Also, how the hell are you able to tell whether or not a piece of clothing was stepped out of our throne? That just sounds stupid, dude. Am I the a-hole for leaving my stepmom's lake house abruptly after she called my daughter a brat? Over the 4th of July, my wife and I visited my stepmom at her boyfriend's lake house with our 2 daughters, 7 and 6. The girls had been staying with them the week prior. On Saturday, my daughter and other girl asked to leave the lake early to play in the hot tub. My stepmother said no, and my daughter got upset and cried. The other girl then asked her, "What do you even like about her?" And my daughter said, "She has a new house and money." And not the most thoughtful thing to say, but she's 7. And the lake house had just undergone a big renovation. The other girl ran and told my stepmom what was said. My stepmom had been drinking all day and clearly took it personally. Later, I saw her walk up to my daughter, sitting quietly on the couch, get in her face and say, "You make me so sad." I immediately stepped in. I told her to stop, and sent my daughter out of the room. I told my stepmom not to talk to my kid like that, and we started arguing. I asked if we could speak privately. There were a dozen people in a room 10 feet away, but she refused and kept saying that my daughter was spoiled and entitled, and that it was clear how we really felt about her. I told my wife that we were leaving and went to pack. We had planned to stay until Sunday, but I didn't feel comfortable anymore. My wife supported me, even though I could tell that she wasn't fully on board. While packing, my stepmom came upstairs, still being defensive. We got into a shouting match. I told her I didn't care about her money and never wanted a dime from her. She kept bringing up how entitled my daughter was. She walked out, and I continued packing. As I was loading the car, her boyfriend came out and told me that he didn't think that we should come back. He said that she was heartbroken, but I let him know that I appreciated his hospitality. He hadn't been involved in the conflict at all. Before leaving, I asked my stepmom if she wanted to say goodbye to her granddaughters. She wouldn't speak or look at me. Later, she came outside and said goodbye to the girls. I told her I loved her, and she snapped. "You have a hell of a way of showing it." I doubt it. That started another argument. Her boyfriend confirmed he had said we shouldn't come back. When she asked if he was going to say goodbye to the girls, he's been in their lives since they were toddlers, he hesitated, then stuck his head in the car for a quick goodbye. She had never acted that way with his grandkids. We argued once more, and she ended up calling my daughter a brat. That was it. I said that we were done and left without saying goodbye to anyone else in the house. TLDR, my 7-year-old made an offhanded comment about my stepmom having money. Another kid repeated it. My stepmom, who had been drinking, confronted my daughter, called her a brat, and I decided to cut our trip short. I know this is just my side of things, but I'm still struggling with how all of it went down. So, is your stepmom even wrong, though? Your kid was acting like a brat, making some joke about, "Oh yeah, we like her because the first thing we can think of is that she has money." That don't sound right. And you're trying to chalk it up to her drinking and everything? No, I would call your daughter a brat too, and I'm sober. She ain't calling your daughter a brat because she's been drinking. No, she's calling your daughter a brat because your daughter's acting like a damn brat. People really have just outright let nice or not at all go out the window. My 29M pregnant wife, 25F, isn't the woman that I married anymore. How do I fix it? Throw it away because I don't want her to read this. I, 29M, have always dreamed of being a dad. My wife, 25F, and I have been together for 6 years, married for 4. At first, she didn't want kids, but after a few years of gentle persuasion, she finally agreed. We started trying, and this year, and luckily, she got pregnant quickly. I was excited at first, but things have honestly gone downhill. A few weeks ago, her doctor put her on bed rest due to complications. Nothing serious, just precautionary, with quotes. But I don't really know the details that I could make it to the appointment because I had to work, so she filled me in. Since then, it's like I'm living with a totally different person. She's always in bed, constantly complaining that she's tired or uncomfortable, and hasn't lifted a finger around the apartment. I work 9 to 6, and I come home to laundry piling up, dishes in the sink, and I'm eating the same prepped meal twice a week because she doesn't have the energy to cook daily anymore. I get that pregnancy is hard, but come on, other women have been doing just fine. She used to take pride in her appearance, like always had her nails done, hair styled, wax, nice clothes. Now she's gained like 20 pounds, and we are only halfway. Wears oversized sweats all day, and hasn't done anything with her hair in weeks. When I asked about it, she said that she is saving money for the baby instead of wasting it on beauty stuff. It's looking pretty, for me, a waste now. We are not rich, but we are not poor. She makes $32,000 a year, and I make $38,000, and we split rent. I just don't understand why the baby has to suck the life out of everything before it's even born. Do I just not matter anymore? She barely talks to me like she used to. It's all about the baby or how she's feeling. Intimacy? Gone. I've tried bringing it up, but she says she doesn't feel attractive or is too tired. I'm trying to be patient, but I feel like I'm invisible in my own marriage. I even re-downloaded the dating apps I used to use. Not to cheat, okay? Just wanted to talk to people who actually want to talk to me like I'm a person. It helps me feel like I still exist. I asked her if maybe a light walk or cleaning a little would help me feel normal again. But she got mad and just started pouting, saying that I don't put myself in her shoes. She's the one who's not putting herself in mine. I was just trying to help. To be clear, she chose this too. I didn't force her to get pregnant. We both said yes. So, why am I suddenly the bad guy for wanting the relationship to still feel like a relationship? I know this probably sounds bad. No shit, it does. But I'm doing everything I can. I'm still here. I'm not a robot. Is it really so terrible to want a little effort back? I'm just expecting some basic attention and support. I don't want to leave her. I just want my wife back. Is there anything I can do or talk to her or to make her realize she is ruining our marriage? Oh, yeah, no, the good old classic, yeah, don't worry. I'm downloading Tinder because I want to make genuine platonic friends and anything, and it's totally not bad. Dude, if you wanted to do that, just go on freaking social media. Like, Facebook is right there. Dude just out here straight up rolling nat ones for lying. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!